if we're fast enough, we'll grab that hand grenade and we'll throw it right back at him. John Bass alone, Medal of Honor, Guadalcanal, the first one. He was killed right to our right, never got up. And I walked over and had my flamethrower on my back. See if you can get him. I can't get him. So he held the gun on my gun, flamethrower, and I took the bar, and I'm firing away, and I'm chipping the rock right at the guy's head. When we reached the base finally, we had a hand fight with hand grenades, but they were throwing them down on us, but we couldn't throw up. Now, normally we can grab, if we're fast enough, we'll grab that hand grenade and we'll throw it right back at him. Their own, and it'll get them. But we couldn't do it. We couldn't throw them uphill. That's quite a long ways up there. So what we did is we secured the base, blew them out of there, just did everything. We got them out of there. They went down in the cave and went down below Mount Suribachi. Some of them came up to the top there, and then our patrol that went up with this flag that my battalion commander gave them to put up, they killed a few of them up there anyway. Yeah.
Were there planes? Can you describe the scene a little bit? Was there planes above? Were there how much
when
shooting?
We fought, no, they did not come because they'd be hitting us, you know.
So it was all man on man.
We gave them word that we're mopping up Suribachi right now. Don't be coming on to us. So they did not come.
So it was just
well, we wouldn't let them come. We didn't want them to come because we were all over that place. They had a battalion of men. Well, I'll tell you, when we left Suribachi, we didn't have a battalion. And when we got to Hill 362A, that was a bloody thing. It just hammered the daylights out of us. I almost cried. I was off to the side with a flamethrower. If they get me, I'm chopped liver. That's all there is to it. They got my squad leader. They tortured him. They found his body. So I took over the squad. But then I lost the squad. So I mean, it was just a bloody, confused battle. We didn't know what to really expect because nobody knew anything about the island. It was kept secret.
How many friends did you have die there?
How many?
How many friends did you have die there?
Oh, I had a kid, Orville Carabue was his name. We went to school together in Detroit. We went to school together, and he was a rifleman. He was killed on Hill 362A. I had about 3 or 4 good buddies there that were killed. We lost our officers. None of them came out of there. So we fought to the north end, and by the time we got to the north end, we held it right there because we had them down by the water. We had about a week to go because we knew we would be fighting 6 weeks. So we had about a week to go, and we would have it all done. And they would come at us at night and then go hunker back down on the beach by the water. They can go swim. Our boats would take them up, pick them off, or they could come at us, and eventually we'd wipe them out because we killed like 200-300 every night at a bonsai charge. I think we were fortunate. I don't know in my battalion of anybody that really got killed by a bonsai charge unless it was hand grenades. But bodily, they did not get to us, and that's what we were really afraid of, bayonet fighting. We didn't want that to happen, but we were ready. If we had to, you know, but that never happened because we could kill them before they got right to us. Yeah.
How long did it take for you to see the first Marine killed in action?
I didn't quite get the question.
How long did it take for you to see the first Marine killed in action at Iwo Jima?
Not long at all. When I hit the beach, I lay face down. I had these 2 boys with me. We were scared to death. John Bass alone, Medal of Honor, Guadalcanal, the first one. He was killed right to our right, never got up. 3 kids ahead of me were already dead. There were bodies laying all over the beach, and we had to crawl over those bodies to move to the top. But it was hard getting to the top because nobody could get off the thing. Every time you'd get up to move and run, and when we got it, they had it all. They plowed up the volcanic ash loose, 2.5, 3 feet of it, and it would sink right up to here, right up to your calf, and then you had to get your leg out. Well, I had a flamethrower on. Well, by the time I reached the top, I lost my 2 buddies. They weren't with me anymore. So I went the first night of that battle, I was alone.
Oh.
In a hole, too. It was a mess. It was really a mess, a disaster. That's the problem of going on these islands you don't know anything about. You don't know what to expect.
When is the first time you fired your flamethrower in battle?
First time on the way to Suribachi, yeah. I pretty well burned my way right through to the base. And by that time, I was the only one left in my outfit. They were wounded or killed.
Can you describe the first time you used the flamethrower in battle?
Well, when I reached the base, they were it was funny. They had it's all cleared out now, but they had big boulders placed there. And so the entrance to the cave to the mountain was behind them, and this protected them. So they were in between, but you could see their head moving back and forth. You could see it, and we couldn't get them. A buddy of mine yelled over, "Graves, come on over here." And I walked over and had my flamethrower on my back. "See if you can get him. I can't get him." So he held the gun on my gun, flamethrower, and I took the bar, and I'm firing away, and I'm chipping the rock right at the guy's head. We hit the top of the rock, but we couldn't get him. And then he'd move over here. We tried. That went on and on and on. So finally what we did is we called for air power. And our Marine planes came in, and they strafed the daylights out of that thing. Well, they did kill a few, but a few of them went right back in the caves. But we wanted to get that done before dark. We had to get that thing wiped out before dark. That was a bad place to be. The problem is they came out at night and fought. That was the general's way of doing things. Hunker down during the day, let them have their fun, and then hit them at night. But they paid a price for it every night. We were ready. Yeah.
How would they fight you at night?
How was the fight at night? Scary. Screaming, yelling. I had one Japanese with a bag on his side, hand grenades. All he was doing was, he was drunk around sake. They had sake in the caves like crazy. They let them drink. I mean, anything to keep going, And they had drugs. And, I mean, talking and mumbling to themselves. One came at us with that bag of hand grenades, started throwing them. One lobbed down in the hole. And normally, if you grab it, you can throw it back at him. But there's no way in the world we could get that hand grenade. I picked it, tossed it up. It hit the top of the bank and rolled back in. I said, "Out! A grenade!" We all cleared the hole. One fella, and he was a married man, one of the replacements. His 1 foot stayed in, and it went off, and it tore his foot off. It was hanging by skin. And, man, we screamed for stretcher bearer. Well, they brought a stretcher bearer over to us. And we got him on there, but his foot was hanging off, on the side. He didn't know it. I didn't say anything about it. But I broke down crying. I lost it. If he could have pulled both legs out of there. And he said, "Don't worry about it, Don. I'm going home." And he did. Yeah. Hairy nights.
Sounds like it.
Then we get up in the morning, have to go out and count them. Yeah. Make sure they're dead. Not a good job. And they were just like us, young teenagers, 20s, young ones. Only young men can fight wars. We learned that.
Hey everybody, I'm Shawn Ryan. Click here to subscribe to the Shawn Ryan Show YouTube channel for the hottest and most compelling interviews that you will not see anywhere else. I've also made a playlist of all the previous SRS episodes so they're easy to find. You can find that right here.